Ladies and gentlemen, if you please take your seats, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. Please take your seats. Thank you.
mental illness has always existed. Hippocrates recognized the need for medical treatments, and the Greeks and Romans initiated actual diagnoses of ailments. Then came exorcisms, asylums, lobotomies, electroshock therapy, isolation. In the mid-1950s, over 500,000 people with mental illness were hospitalized in the U.S. The advent of effective psychiatric medication led to many patients being removed from institutions and directed toward local mental health facilities. But it was an overload on communities, and something had to give. Enter the Louisville section of the National Council of Jewish Women, who studied mental health needs in Kentucky and identified a gap in services between mental hospitals and reintegration into the community. As a result of these forward-thinking women, Bridgehaven was founded in 1958 with 3 clients and 2 staff, as only the third of its type nationally to serve people with psychiatric problems outside a hospital setting. Bridgehaven quickly began operating 5 days a week, adding pre-vocational and work training to its cutting-edge mental health programming. A brand new board of directors and the ability to bill for Medicaid allowed for continuing growth. A professional fundraiser was hired, and the 21st century ushered in construction of a beautiful new building at 950 South 1st Street. Clinical Director Ramona Johnson, following in the legendary footsteps of founder Leroy Joseph and past President Judy Lyons, took the helm as Bridgehaven's new CEO and president, and still steers the ship today. Bridgehaven is a leader in holistic treatment involving mind, body, and spirit, giving over 500 clients per year opportunities never before imagined for individuals with mental illness. Today, Bridgehaven boasts a staff of 60, and plans for additional space are underway. Your support makes it possible for us to continue to provide amazing outcomes for those we serve, and we thank you for being part of our mission to provide hope and recovery to the citizens of Jefferson County.
Good morning, everyone. Give me a wave if you can hear me out there in the cheap seats. Yay, good. Aren't you guys glad you paid the premium up here? This is wonderful. I'm Tara Bassett, and I'm so happy to welcome you to our 16th annual Bridge Builder Breakfast. And we are supplementing our crowd this year via technology, so I will be addressing you and you. Welcome to all of our Take It From Tara livecast viewers who are sitting in their bunny slippers at home laughing that we all came out in the cold. But the good news is you can enjoy the program, learn about Bridgehaven with us, and folks at home have the opportunity to donate to us via bridgehaven.org. We're going at every angle, folks. We're doing everything we can to help the folks in this community who are served by Bridgehaven and those who need to be served. So we're very, very grateful that all of you are here with us, whether here, in person in the venue, or remotely. Now, has anyone told you that Bridgehaven is celebrating a landmark anniversary? Do you know? Do you know that we're 60 years old? I think it calls for a round of happy anniversary. Ready? Okay, Ramona is gonna lead it off. Ready? Happy anniversary to you. Sing it. Happy anniversary to you. Sing it, Ramona. Happy anniversary, dear Bridgehaven. Happy anniversary to you. Yay, good job. I'm laughing at all you guys who are watching at work singing your little hearts out because your coworkers are looking at you funny. But please stay with us. You'll learn so much in this wonderful program. Now here, if you're in the venue, do not turn your phones all the way off. I would like you to take pictures, lots of pictures. And after you leave, I'd really appreciate it if you would post them to your social media. Go Insta, use your Facebook, you can tweet, do whatever you can to get the word out about where you've been this morning and what you've learned, because one of our major objectives at the Bridgehaven Bridge Builder Breakfast is to bring awareness about mental health. We would like to prevent interruption of our speakers with things that go beep, so please take inventory of anything on your body that makes noise, including your annoying little Apple wristwatch. So if you have something that goes beep, beep, please silence your comms at this point, and I will thank our sponsors. We want to thank Passport Health Plan, Republic Bank, Kentucky One Health, Our Lady of Peace, Howell and Kidd Attorneys, the Price Group at Keller Williams, Commonwealth Bank, the Brook Hospitals, Humana Care Source, Anthem Health Insurance, Aetna Better Health of Kentucky, ClearLink WellCare of Kentucky. This is my favorite, the Flying Locksmiths. Woo! Miller Deal Construction and Woodman Life. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We appreciate you. And none of you would be here without your table captain, so if you are a table captain, please rise. Sharing your passion about Bridgehaven is a great way to get people to the breakfast. Thank you. Perfect. Finally, there would be no recovery possible without these people. I would like to ask the board of directors, the fabulous staff, and the incredible, amazing members of Bridgehaven to stand, and I'd like us to acknowledge all the work they do for the hope and help that this agency has brought for 60 years to Louisville. Now to the business of the gray matter, also known as the brain. First, I want to thank the three most important people in my life for being here this morning: my psychiatrist, my therapist, and my pharmacist. That's next to the dogs, just below the dogs. I hate to tell you this, but the Hunger Games had it wrong. With mental illness, the odds are never in your favor. 1 in 4 Americans will experience some type of mental, emotional, or behavioral health problem during their life. Now, if you have not experienced depression, anxiety, or another brain dis-ease, I hope you never do. But I caution you, complacency is the biggest danger, because if you don't recognize what's coming, it will suck you down into a vortex so fast you won't know what hit you. It happened to me, a hopelessly optimistic person, until the proverbial other shoe dropped. Severe depression robbed me of 5 years of my life. It damaged or ended relationships, cost me income, rewired my brain, and made me afraid to take a bath or go alone to the grocery. These are simple practices that we all take for granted. Recovery is a day-to-day process, as we say at Bridgehaven, and I'm happy to report I managed to shower this morning, and yesterday I made it all the way down the cereal aisle at Dirty Kroger without major incident. Tomorrow we conquer the dairy section. A great team of professionals, many of whom are sitting right here, the right medications, and a whole raft of skills I never knew I had have taken me from what I called the pit of hell almost to the mountaintop. Since I've been working at Bridgehaven, my recovery has accelerated. I love being with my chosen family every single day and spreading the word about 60 years of help and hope this amazing place has given to Louisville. My avocation, as you can see, is hosting Facebook livecasts on the state of issues in this city every single day. Of course, my beloved animal causes, and more recently, our city's terrible crisis of homelessness, which forms what I call the unholy trinity with addiction and mental illness. And thank God, Bridgehaven's expertise can help to heal or prevent all three. To encourage those who are affected to break the stigma, we ask Bridgehaven members to stand before this assembly and before this assembly, to be featured in a video, to share their stories, or any other way that they can get the message out. And our members are so brave. We ask them to do something for a promotion, and they are right there. One of our speakers is going to tell you a little bit about what he's done for Bridgehaven. What you hear from these speeches and from this video is probably going to make you cry. It may frighten you, it may even shock you, but hopefully it's going to give you some critical information that will help you or someone you love who may be confronted with the reality of mental health issues. Now remember, please, if you're in the house, have you silenced your comms? Have we gone dark? Yeah, don't turn the phone off, take pictures. Share them to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, please. We want you to tell as many people as you can what you did this morning. And then, this is the cool part. You can go to my page, I'm Tara Bassett, share this video to your page. And by the time we start to develop the domino effect shares, thousands of people are going to be able to see what we did this morning for Bridgehaven. And for all of you out there in livecast land, I don't charge for my video cast, so here's the quid pro quo. Go to bridgehaven.org and make a contribution. The folks in the house here are going to be shaken down before they leave, don't worry. We're good. So much lies ahead of us this morning, and I'd like to start the program with the good pastor. Where is our favorite pastor, Lee Bond? He's working his way toward the stage, ladies and gentlemen. He has blessed our food for many years, and we appreciate him from Beargrass Christian Church. And thank you so much, Pastor Bond.
Good morning. Let's take a moment to give a word of thanks, please. O source of healing and hope, we thank you for your presence among us and within us. We're grateful for this season of sharing and celebration. We deeply appreciate the gifts we've been given, and we realize that we have been blessed so that we can be blessings to others. This morning, we give thanks for this meaningful meal. Our hearts are delighted to see so many people who've gathered here. We also remember those who have been here before us. We are inspired by people like Leroy Joseph and those who served with the local chapter of the NCJW. They had a dream. They had a dream of a safe place where people would be able to learn the tools for recovery and be productive community members. We give thanks that for 60 years, Bridgehaven has helped people find hope in what seem to be hopeless situations. So today we hear your invitation to keep dreaming and doing and giving. So pour out your blessings on us and the people and programs that fulfill Bridgehaven's mission. Remind us once again that together our gifts make a difference. Generous spirit, instill within us a spirit of generosity. Bless this food and our time together. Let us receive physical and spiritual nourishment for significant service, compassionate giving, and hope-filled living. Amen. And please enjoy your meal and your conversations with the other guests.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about 5 minutes, the program will resume. In about 5 minutes, the program will resume. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I got your attention. We're going to be starting the program in about 2 minutes. So if you're socializing, I'm so happy. But sit in your seats because you've got some remarkable speakers coming your way. You also are seeing Sawyer on the screen. She's our pet therapist, in case nobody else tells you. We have 3, Harley and Quinn, the cats, and Sawyer, the dog. And then we have the fish. How many have pets in this room? Good. Okay, you're right there with us. Not in the room? No. Wes does not have his pet in the room. Got me. Okay, Ramona, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, Ramona Johnson.
Had a last-minute thought there. Maybe I didn't want to come up here after all. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming this morning. I'm Ramona Johnson, the President and CEO of Bridgehaven. As you heard from Tara, we are celebrating 60 years of providing cutting-edge mental health services to this community. And no, I have not been there the entire 60 years. Only 20 of them, 20 years that have been so amazing because of you and your support and the commitment of so many people to our mission. My mother has lived with severe depression and paralyzing anxiety for most of her life. In fact, she has suffered from mental illness for 60 years. She is now 85, and I use the word suffer because she has endured more mental and emotional pain than anyone should have to bear. She has attempted suicide at least 4 times and been hospitalized more times than I can count. Fortunately, she has experienced almost 30 years of recovery through intense therapy and with the support of her family. But she's taken a turn for the worse since my dad passed 3 years ago. She hasn't adjusted well to assisted living, nor has her grief lessened. It is hard for her to make friends and feel connected. My dad was the people person, and he surrounded her with his circle of friends and who accepted her without questioning her illness. Recently, she has talked to me about not wanting to live any longer. It simply feels like too much trouble, and she is so tired of the loneliness and the pain. I am weary for her, and I want so badly to give her even some small amount of joy, but feel helpless to do so. Yet, despite her persistent anxiety and depression, she is better off than many other people living with this disease. She has a supportive family who understand mental illness and are equipped to advocate for her. She also does not suffer from the stigma of her condition as do so many people. She is not ashamed to talk about how the illness affects her life. She struggles against it, but she knows it is her version of normal. Others are not so fortunate, and that is why Bridgehaven exists. Bridgehaven is so vital to our community because you are never cured from mental illness. You must manage mental illness for your entire life. Unlike heart disease, where you can seek treatment and, God willing, the bypass surgery or the stents are successful, and you see your cardiologist every year for a checkup, mental illness won't let you say, okay, I'm good for another 20 or 30 years, and go on with your life. It must be diligently managed every single day. That is what Bridgehaven has been helping our members to do for 60 years, right here in our community. Because of you, last year, we served almost 500 members. Your generous support provided them with mental health treatment, employment coaching, social skill building opportunities, and so much more. I am excited to share 3 areas where we have had significant breakthroughs. 2 years ago, we began offering medication management. This means that our members have the option to receive all of the services they need for recovery, including medications at Bridgehaven, a place they know, trust, and feel is their community. In 2 years, we have prescribed psychiatric medications for over 300 members. Currently, 191 of our members receive their medications at Bridgehaven, where our clinicians and peer specialists can talk with them about medication response, communicate efficiently with the prescriber, and improve continuity of care. Quick access to psychiatric medication is critical to successful treatment outcomes. Across the community, it is common for an individual with mental illness to wait 4 to 6 weeks to see a prescriber. At Bridgehaven, our prescriber can see a new member with no wait, lessening suffering and helping the individual move more quickly toward recovery. You helped make medication management possible. Next, employment. Employment is so important to our sense of purpose. What's the first question we ask when meeting someone for the first time? It's usually, what do you do, right? Imagine how you would feel if you had no answer to that question. Our supported employment program helps members find the right jobs so they can succeed and answer that question with pride. Research supports the importance of work, indicating that employment is as critical for mental health recovery as therapy and medication. Do you remember helping your teenager think about what they wanted to do with their lives, looking at different colleges and trying to make the very best choice? Or going through this process yourself? Imagine trying to do this with someone in their 30s or 40s who is living with a mental illness. It's not easy, but the result is an amazing smile on the members' faces when they say, I have received so much help from others. I want to work and give back to the community that has helped me. 22 people have found jobs, and 42 more are working toward that goal. You helped make that happen too. Statistically, people with mental illness die 25 years sooner than the rest of the population. Bridgehaven's approach to recovery focuses on the whole person. By providing health assessment, intervention, and support in our mental health setting, we are improving both the physical and mental health of our members. Over 500 members have participated in our clinic and wellness program since its inception. This year, peer specialist health advocates accompanied 30 members to 218 physician visits, helping them navigate the healthcare system, which is not easy, and participate in their own care. Our advanced practice nurse completed 91 health assessments. Clinic participants' blood sugars are 17% lower than those who choose not to participate, and body mass index is 21% lower among members in the YMCA exercise program. They collectively lost 218 pounds this year. Yeah. You can't separate mental health and physical health, and you also helped make this happen. I am so proud of our work and so grateful for your support to make it all happen. Because of you, we have achieved so many successes in our 60 years. Our work now is to invest and prepare for our next 60 years of healing and recovery. We must expand our capacity to reach more people, to offer them effective medication management, opportunities to work, integrated health care, proven mental health interventions that lead to recovery, and the support of the community that is Bridgehaven. Our work today is to scale the success you have helped us to achieve, right here, right now, together. We need everyone in this effort with us. There are likely 75,000 people in Louisville who are suffering silently with their mental illness, ashamed, afraid, alone. We must expand our capacity to serve more of our friends and neighbors. I know we cannot serve them all overnight, but I do have a vision of serving 500 more each year by 2020 on our way to making mental health services as accessible and as acceptable as physical health services. This has been our charge for 60 years. We have made great strides, but there is so much more to do to ensure the next 60 years. I cannot do it alone. I need you. I need your passion. I need your advocacy. I need your continued support. And I need it now. Thank you so very much.
I was in 5th grade, and up till then, like, I was in elementary school, and my family was all together, and we lived over in Jeffersonville, and things were okay. Like, I didn't really have much of a problem. I had friends, and I liked school, and I had teachers. I always loved the teachers, and I made good grades, and everything, was kind of going along smoothly. And my mom kind of sat us down, and I didn't see any of it coming. And she was like, well, I love you all very much, but you're going to stay here with your dad, and I'm going to go away. I was the fat kid and the gay kid, and I was very sweet and nice and didn't want to cause trouble and didn't want to, upset anybody. So I was the perfect target for bullying, and they took full advantage. I remember I would just sit against the wall, and I'd lean my head against the wall, and I would try to be invisible. It just kind of all fell apart, and I would beg my mom when I got a hold of her to let me live with her, like, please, like, take me, like, get out. But she wouldn't do it, because what I didn't know was that she was over here in Louisville having her own nervous breakdown and having such a hard time, because they were both just, my mom and dad both were having breakdowns of their own in their own way. But eventually I begged her enough to where she would let me stay with her. My mom was falling apart, and then my life was falling apart, and we were kind of on our own. It was just me and my mom. I felt like I had tried everything at that point in my life. Like, I'm in early 30s. I powered through the best I could, just like be on the path that you're supposed to go down. I went to college. I made it through college. I made it through high school. I made it through college. I made it through graduate school. I got my degree. I worked. I lost weight. I did everything I could. I would go to therapists. I would go, psychiatrists. I was on so much medicine. I would take my mom everywhere. I would take her to go get her medicine and try to take care of her. And it was just nothing I did worked. I ended up in the psych ward again. They were like, well, you should try ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, which is the dreaded, shock therapy. And that was so hard for me to have to admit that well, I might need this, or I might need this to help me. And then it didn't. So we kind of had this pact between us that if everything's ever got too bad, or if one of us ever got lost our minds completely, that we would go to the ocean. We're in a hotel, and we were kind of out of money already. I made the decision. I was like, Mom, do you want to just go to the ocean? She said, yeah. Went to a liquor store and got a bunch of vodka, and we put all our medicines together, and we both tried to take our lives. I remember doing it, and we were just very matter of fact about it. I just remember telling her that I loved her. We both kind of took it. I don't remember ever passing out or anything. That was it. My aunt and cousin in Ohio were notified, and and my dad was notified. I had seen or heard from my dad for 20 years or more. But my aunt came down and she drove down to Florida and took care of my mom. And then my dad drove down to Florida to come deal with me. And then I was able to return home. My dad found me an apartment here in Louisville, and so he would essentially stay with me in my apartment. I found myself suicidal again, having those thoughts and feelings again. And but after everything I'd just been through, I was like, no, I can't do this again. I can't kill myself again. Eventually, I went to U of L hospital, and the social worker there was like, there's this place called Bridgehaven, and she's like, well, they have groups and a therapist, and they'll probably have more available to you. She showed me like a schedule of Bridgehaven's things, and they had an LGBT group. And I thought like, well, that maybe I could meet some other gay people. And I was like, well, what the hell? Like, what do I have to lose? Like, and so that's how I ended up at Bridgehaven, just kind of on a whim. It was the best decision I ever made. It changed my life for the better. I'm so grateful to that lady at the social worker at U of L for suggesting Bridgehaven to me. And I'm so glad I made that decision. I can't explain how much hope means. Because again, I felt like I had tried everything, and that I thought like I was just too broken. There was something wrong with me, that just therapy and medicine and nothing's going to work with me. And I didn't come to Bridgehaven because I thought it would help, but it has, and it's because people care. It's because there's not just one person there that cares. The whole staff cares. It's like a big family. And so it's hard to argue with the idea of recovery when you have living, breathing examples of it surrounding you every day. I can't explain how good that is, how good that feels, how big a difference that is, and how much that means to me. And now I have friends. I have friends from Bridgehaven, and I've made friends outside of Bridgehaven. I want to be independent. I want to be as independent as possible. I want to continue building my social supports and my friends, and I have a couple, but I'd like to have a couple more, and I'd like to have a romantic relationship at some point, and just give back in any way that I can. Because when you're given such a gift and you're filled with such gratitude, you know what that is, and you know what that means.
Greetings. My name is Jerry, and I have bipolar disorder. I developed childhood trauma as a result of abuse from several relatives and a lot of neighborhood bullies. As a child, I was sexually assaulted more than once. Not surprisingly, I also have PTSD. I've seen many doctors and the inside of many hospitals, and thought of or attempted suicide several times. I can't even count the number of medications I've taken. That's why I'm at Bridgehaven. Growing up was not easy for me since I didn't socialize with many of my peers. I went to 13 different schools, but despite all that disruption, I excelled in math, science, and world geography. I was in chess club, but built my first computer, and then I became A+ certified in computer repair. I got my GED and trades in carpentry and auto mechanics. And here's an interesting fact. I was a firefighter for Job Corps in the Daniel Boone National Forest. I wish I could be helping in California right now. I never dealt with my emotional state or my feelings. I bottled everything up and never cried, even when I was beaten. As a matter of fact, the first time my mom ever saw a tear from me was when I was 19 and served as a pallbearer for my grandma. I was her favorite, her angel. I could do no wrong. She gave me a safe place in a turbulent childhood, and her death just rocked my world. Then I lost my favorite stepdad, the only one who treated me like I was his real son. I was devastated. We did so much together. Bipolar disorder has depressive and manic sides. You isolate, then you're all over town. You sleep a lot, then you can't be still. When I'm manic, I spend a lot of my money on things I don't really need. I also have a terrible fear of lightning. I have almost been struck more than 5 times. So every time I see lightning and my breathing, it comes to strike. I think it's coming to strike me, just me. I shake, I close my fist really tight, and my breathing becomes very rapid. I have to shut the blinds and focus on playing games or watching movies. It's part of my PTSD. Some may think this is part of my mental illness, and some may think it's just a lifestyle, but it really doesn't matter. I'm fascinated by felines. My childhood bedroom was decorated in lions and tigers and panthers. No bears. I relate to them. They are powerful animals. Let me explain. When I started to come out of my shell after years of abuse and struggles with mental illness, I began to identify as a cat. Thinking about those powerful animals has helped me cope with all the stress in my life. I keep a mental image of big cats, and that gives me strength and resilience. Like them, I know I can handle what comes my way. I was an Army brat, born at Fort Knox, so the military called me to serve in the U.S. Army for almost 11 years. 3 years on active duty in Fort Hood, Texas, and the rest in the National Guard. I volunteered for Desert Storm and was mobilized for war, but I ended up teaching military occupational skills to other soldiers. I wanted to re-enlist but couldn't because I was unstable from extreme stress and I had suicidal thoughts. I needed help. My mental health issues has caused a big rift in my family life. My ex-wife and I still talk, but my two girls don't have anything to do with me at all. My second wife kicked me out after I told her I felt I had the soul of a cat. To them, I'm the black sheep, or in my case, the black cat. You gotta find humor or you spend all your life or time crying. At Bridgehaven, I've been in relationship building and overcoming depression groups. And I help in the kitchen, feed the cats, no surprise there. And occasionally I call bingo. I learn new things about myself every day, like the fact that sometimes I have a hard time expressing my emotions, except anger. And my tone comes out bossy and condescending. I was not aware of this until recently when my worker, Artie Ortega, gently brought it to my attention. So I'm working on it. The person you see before you today has gained confidence and learned coping skills. On payday, I go out to the store. I prefer to get in and get out. And I'm forcing myself out of my comfort zone by being around large groups of people. I am involved in Project Semicolon, which works towards suicide prevention. And this year, I become involved in this agency's mission for mental health. I helped our marketing department sign up 44 people for the National Alliance for Mental Illness annual walk. And I am now a NAMI program leader, so I can speak about my recovery at Bridgehaven. I just keep making progress. I have a job as a security officer, and I work both day and night shifts. I am learning to thrive, not just survive. It's been a long journey, and like us at Bridgehaven, my story isn't finished. I hope you have a really happy holiday, and if you see me out shopping, come over to say hi, or meow. Just remember, my name is Jerry, but you can call me Catman.
They had to help me up here. I'm so short. They wanted to make sure you could see me. Okay. Good morning. My name is Martina H. Eubank, and I am the face of mental illness. And I'm living my best life right now. Who knew I'd be teaching full-time? I thought it was just a sub job for a few days, but they liked me. They really, really liked me, so I had to stay. If you had told me just 2 years ago that I'd be teaching 6th grade science that I know nothing about, I'd have said you were crazy. I love my school. I'm at a great place, and I'm in a great place. In the past, the only reason I worked part-time was because I tended to get symptomatic. That's not happening anymore. My Bridgehaven team is right there to keep an eye on my stress level. Did you know that depression sucks the life right out of your soul? I struggled for so long. I'd tell my therapist I thought I had some kind of mental illness. They said it would have been obvious at a much younger age. I have a degree in psychology. I've read all about mental illness. And my symptoms were pointing at one disorder, bipolar. Sometimes I'd be super, super happy. And then I just couldn't get out of bed. I was stalked and assaulted at college. Believe it or not, my dad held me hostage for 8 hours for reasons I'll never know. I used to sleep with wind chimes on my doorknobs, so I'd hear if they were coming back to get me. That's called PTSD. I was so paranoid. If 2 people were talking, well, they had to be talking about me. When I was depressed, I was suicidal, with no way out of the pressure and pain. When I was manic, I could do 20 things at once. I had unlimited energy. I made all these plans, and some I actually carried out. Now, it's been a while since the last big up and that last big down. And for that, I am grateful. Bridgehaven has been such a blessing to me. I feel so safe with my therapist, Gloria. But if she's not there, I can go next door to Artie and Sawyer, and they love me too. When I'm there, I don't have to be anything but myself. Now, I am all about makeup and fake hair, like fake hair, okay? All right, but if I'm not feeling the fake hair or the makeup, they're gonna love me anyway. It's so hard to believe. I used to dig into my arms until they bled. I hated myself. The world says that if you're mentally ill, you'll be ranting and raving at bus stops. Bridgehaven says, I can have a good life. I can be a part of the community. I can be active in my church. And Bridgehaven tells me that it's okay to have mental illness and work on recovery. People think you can just take one pill and you'll be okay. That's not true. I'll be on medication for the rest of my life, and I'm 100% compliant. I recently found out that I have CLL, a type of leukemia. I also have a rare disease called Durkheim's disease, which causes really painful tumors in your stomach and legs. Oh, and I gotta tell you this, okay. When my endocrinologist broke the news, I said to her, "How long do I have?" And she said, "How long are you planning to stay?" Well, as good as my life is right now, I'm saying a couple of lifetimes. I have a future now. I'm about to start working on my master's in counseling. I'm moving into a new apartment in a hipper part of town. I'm taking back my life. So I'm asking all of you, if you're thinking of getting me a Christmas present, and I know that all of you are, because I could tell when you all came in, you were looking for me. I'm gonna ask you, I have all the socks and sweaters I'll ever need. Give the gift of a new life. Give to Bridgehaven. You really can make a difference. Thank you so much, and happy holidays. Thank you.
Good morning. We had to move this stool. It's unsafe. About a month ago, I fell off a ladder. About a week ago, I fell out of my desk chair. Being on that stool is not good. Anyway, I'm Wes Gersh. I'm a longtime supporter of Bridgehaven, and I want to thank everybody for coming today. I know that what you've heard this morning goes a long way to explain why I and so many like me have so passionately supported Bridgehaven for so long, decades in my case. We're also celebrating our 60th anniversary and looking forward to 60 more, when I also plan on being here. So here's my question: why are we here? Why are we here? I know somebody invited you. I know you may have heard about Bridgehaven and are interested in learning more. You and I both know that before the morning is done, someone's going to ask you for financial support. You got that right, and that person is me. So before I ask for a dime, let me try to explain why providing financial support is so important, even if all you give is a dime. Is mental illness the fault of those afflicted? No. And to illustrate that point, I want to tell you a short story. About 6 weeks ago, I was rear-ended on I-64 by a semi. True story. My car was totaled, but fortunately my wife and I were okay. My poor car, a 2004 Nissan Altima, which I swore I would never get rid of until it died, it was totaled. But the good news was it didn't die, it was murdered. Those are my boys back there. Did I know the accident was going to happen? No. Could I have prevented it? Probably not. I fear to think what might have happened. So let's talk about Bridgehaven members. These wonderful people, many of whom are here today. It's not their fault either that they suffer from mental illness. They didn't do anything to cause it. They have a mental illness through no fault of their own, and because of it, they're branded, ostracized, shunned, or simply ignored. If someone in your family suffered from a mental illness, wouldn't you do everything in your power to help them? You would do whatever it took to obtain quality mental health treatment, and probably at a place like Bridgehaven. So I ask you one more time, why are we here? Why are we here? I didn't choose to get rear-ended by that semi. Yet when I did, there was help everywhere, from the police to my mechanic to my insurance company to my insurance agent, all of whom responded within minutes. My son, who lives in Florida, called his best friend up here, who came on a Saturday night to pick us up at the mechanic's shop because we had no transportation. Again, this was not my fault. Yet many stepped in to help. So I ask you, who steps in to help someone who, no fault of their own, becomes mentally ill? Does our society step up to help in the right way? You know the answer. To the contrary, they're shunned or ignored. Without financial assistance, they cannot afford the medical and mental health treatments they so desperately need. And in many cases, they lose their jobs, their homes, and, as you heard, their family. Who is left to help? We are. Bridgehaven has successfully treated thousands so they could be reintegrated into society, so they could live meaningful lives. What I've learned about mental illness in 30 years with Bridgehaven is it's up to us. Yes, us. We can't pass the buck. We can't say, well, someone else will take care of it. We can't say, wait until next year. Our current members and future members need help now, and will need help in the future, and Bridgehaven can provide much of it. With your help today, we won't have to tell potential new members that we can't provide help that is so desperately needed because we don't have the capacity to do so. So I stand here today and I ask you to dig down deep. Several years ago, we founded the Bridge Builder Society. These individuals and organizations, which I think are going to be listed on the screen, made the choice at some point over the past several years to say that they wanted to partner with Bridgehaven. All the people whose names you see have continued to support our mission financially. Please help me thank them, many of whom are in the room, for helping ensure that Bridgehaven and its hundreds of members have a brighter future. To thank the members even more, all society members will be showcased on a special display board located at Bridgehaven. We're so grateful, but we need more society members to help secure the treatment that so many of our community will need in the future. This morning, I have the honor of announcing that we have challenge grants of $10,000 to match and inspire new Bridge Builder Society memberships. The first year of each multi-year Giving Society pledge will be matched dollar for dollar up to $10,000. This is an incredible opportunity for Bridgehaven and an enormous challenge. I'm going to pause for a second. Table captains, can you please hand out the packets to the people at your table? And I hope everybody can read and listen at the same time. I'm going to walk you through this. It's a multiple choice form, but nobody fails as long as you check at least one box. Everybody pay attention. You've got to check one box. So let me walk you through it. At the top of the card, which I had somewhere, well, anyway, there's a yellow box, and it highlights the Bridge Builder Society. The first giving level in the Bridge Builder Society is our Gift of Hope level. That's a pledge of $1,000 a year for 5 years, or $83 a month. If you can give at this level, please check the first box. This is what $1,000 can fund. Co-pays for 20 members for the entire year, medication management services to 10 members, peer training services for 4 members, individual support for 40 members. Now, for those of you, and I know there's many of you, who are able to consider a larger gift, the next giving option in the Bridge Builder Society is the Gift of Acceptance, and that's $5,000 a year for 5 years. If you can give at this level, please check the second box. On the next line, we have our Gift of Life giving level. And for those who are part of a company or foundation or in a position just to give more, we ask you to consider $10,000 a year for 5 years. Remember, the first year of every new Bridge Builder pledge will be matched dollar for dollar up to $10,000. We are so grateful for those of you who have chosen to become members of our Bridge Builder Society, but we also respect that some of you may prefer to give at a different level. And so we provide the next line just for you, and on this line, just tell us how much you would like to give and for how many years. Every gift makes a difference. Now, for those of you who are already in a multi-year pledge, who may want to add a year or more to it, please turn your pledge card over and fill out the special section on the back that's just for you. We truly appreciate whatever level of support you can provide. And we ask, if possible, if you can make a payment today. We take cash, check, credit card, stock transfers, or for some of you, you may pay with small, troublesome children. I see a lot of support for that. Or you might simply have some good ideas to share with us, and we would really appreciate that. And if so, please check the next box on the card. It's important that you really hear what I'm about to say. Whether you join as a Bridge Builder Society member, as I have, or make a gift at a different level, or simply gave your valuable time to learn more about us, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the staff, and members at Bridgehaven, I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for attending this morning. I hope you've been inspired by the stories of hope and courage that you have heard. I know I have. And please keep in mind, 1 in 4 of us will have mental health issues in our lifetime. Look around your table. That's at least 2 of you at every table. This is not as uncommon as you might think. Please give not based on the size of your wallet, but the size of your heart. Remember, it's not their fault. Let's make sure that the ingredients for recovery are in place for those who need it most. If not us, who? If not now, when? Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
Just want to remind everybody, tell your friends, share this video on your own Facebook pages. We would appreciate it. And most of all, have a safe and happy holiday. Thank you all so much, and give yourselves a big round of applause for supporting Bridgehaven.